The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
I've been saying it for weeks, right? For weeks. For days and days and days and months, okay? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, a.k.a. the People's Champ, reminds me of Patrick Allvin, okay? They're both bald. They both love the kitchen, right? Fettuccine Alfredo, Mikheyev to the Blackhawks. What? Yo, we ain't going backwards, bro. We ain't going backwards. Let's talk about it.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we had to do this, and that's give you a bonus episode. That's what the people call it, right? I don't call it that. It's just banter, man. We had to do this, okay? Another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us the space to give you the West Coast bias, right? Go check out don'tdoze.com, DONTDOZE.com. One love to the podcast network that is Locked On, right? Giving you that energy, man, that West Coast bias as well, right? Because they tell us to tell you that it's your Canucks every day, your Canucks every hour, and your Canucks matter. Your Canucks really matter. And obviously, Patrick Allvin understands that, right? Off the jump, we got to talk about it, right? There was no way. And there's still a lot of work to be done, but there's no way Patrick Allvin is losing both Dakota Joshua or Nikita Zadorov because of the salary of Ilya Mikheyev, right? No way that was going to happen. And boom, just like that, Ilya Mikheyev joins Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks. That's pretty damn impressive, okay? And they do so for what? A second-round pick. To get off that contract, it cost them that much. There was rumors, like this is all happening really quick. I also heard that Sam Lafferty could have been part of the deal, and Chicago, would be sending a 2027 fourth-round pick back. I think that was a report from, Frankie S., right? I think he was saying that. I'm not sure what it is, but again, the most important part is Mikheyev and a second-round pick going to Chicago, and we get off that horrible contract that was still glued to the Canucks for another 2 years, right? Patrick Allvin's biggest mistake, hopefully one of his only mistakes, okay? And let's not blame him too much, okay? That was sort of kind of his first big move, right? It was. As a GM, as a rookie GM. And boy, oh boy, did he make a big mistake. Now, with Mikheyev, let's be honest, let's be real. People bounce back. It is what it is. He may still be a player. He may even get close to being worth $4.75 per year. But A, he wasn't going to do that in Vancouver. And B, we weren't going to lose Joshua or Zadorov. That was huge. You couldn't lose both of them. For the cost of Ilya Mikheyev. I wonder which one it is. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the live chat, okay? The live chat is going. The people, man. The people energetic. This is news. This is good news. And yeah, I know. Right, another pick going out the door. But the Canucks matter right now. They do. A 2025 second-round pick going the other way. I feel as if the Canucks have traded every single second-round pick for the past, 4 years? Pretty incredible. Pretty fascinating, but, man, that's what happens when your team is cool, man. Second-round picks don't matter. And after seeing what happened yesterday, right? Jake Wallman, am I saying that name right? The gritty guy on Detroit, 12 goals as a left-handed defenseman. He gets shipped out of Detroit because of a cap dump needed, right? And it cost them a second-round pick, and he was getting paid like $1 million less than Mikheyev. For a moment there, it looked like Mikheyev was going to be needed to be shipped out of town with a first-round pick, right? That would have been the price of the sweetener. But we're blessed, man. It's a second-round pick, and I'll just make my prediction now. I think it's going to happen pretty soon here. But I think the Canucks are going to sign Zadorov tomorrow Friday, there's just been so much noise around Dan Milstein, right? The agent of Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, and Zadorov, saying that Zadorov wants to be patient. He doesn't want to close the door on Vancouver. He wants to make it more. He's willing to take quote unquote less, whatever that means. At the end of the day, would you guys do this trade, right? Mikheyev, a third and a fifth and a second for Nikita Zadorov, because that might be the cost of having that guy on your roster for the foreseeable future, right? That dude, and hopefully that dude, who I feel as if, again, the Canucks are going to sign in the next 24 hours. That's what my heart is saying. That dude, if he plays like he played in the playoffs, again in the playoffs, then this trade is worth it, because that dude has a swagger, man. He has the will to win, the will to excel in the playoffs. I feel as if hockey is so fun in the playoffs, and he just capitalizes off that, right? A pretty intuitive dude. And I got to add on to that note, right? Because let's say the Canucks, again, shipped out Mikheyev and they signed Zadorov ASAP, whatever the number is. It's going to be a lot for a guy who's still a number 4, number 5 defenseman, right? If that same dude struggles in the regular season, but the Canucks are still winning games, you just got to be patient. You got to be patient, because it may just take that playoff feeling, right? Those goosebumps to wake up the real Nikita Zadorov. And that's okay with me, because I know it's only been 1 year, but playoff hockey matters, man. Regular season-ish, it don't matter to me. Like, I don't, going into last year, I needed Pettersson and et cetera to do this and do that. Give me 50 goals, give me 45 goals, give me 120 points. Bro, I don't care about any regular season statistics or even like style of play. Just get me to the playoffs, because I do feel as if this core, with their structure and their defense first mindset, they have the ability to turn it on and use that gas when it really matters. And when it matters, again, is the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, we'll get to the comments in like 2 minutes. I got to get out of here pretty quick. The other bit of news, Teddy Blueger signs a 2-year deal worth $3.6 million total. Yes, that's 1.8 per year, if I'm correct. A lot of people looking at this like he took a pay cut. If my math is correct, he was making 1.9 last year. A lot of people talking about, oh, he took a discount. Oh, he's setting the tone for all the other UFAs to do the same, who have already played games for the Vancouver Canucks. And I kind of get it, but at the same time, I feel as if a lot of GMs would have offered Teddy Blueger this deal, right? I feel like there's this notion and this motion going about all these players capitalizing off the salary cap going up a couple $1 million, and everyone's going to be a lot more rich, and a lot of contracts are going to be ludicrous. I don't know about that. I feel as if some people will get paid, but not everyone. Okay, guys like Teddy Blueger, especially based on what he did in the second half of the season, yes, useful, but those type of guys get paid this much. Don't they? Like, how much is Teddy Blueger getting on the open market? Maybe 2, maybe 1.9 again. Anyone paying him 2.5? Maybe Utah. They got to hit the floor, Anyways, I'm glad to have him back, though. I think there's a player there. I think there's a lot of character there. I think he sets the tone, right? He's one of those guys. His professionalism, Allvin guys called it early on, right? Their need for a guy like Teddy Blueger was because of everything he does away from the rink, and that worked. And there's still a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of upside, but there's still that player that we saw with Garland and Joshua. Somewhere there. And chemistry, momentum, intuition, cooperation, all these things are so important. And that dude was playing like a legit number 3 center for a couple of months. X factor-ish. And before you know it, Joshua gets removed from the lineup. Again, it breaks up the chemistry. Even when Joshua comes back, Teddy Blueger barely gets a look. On getting back to being on the best third line in hockey. A bizarre year. I wonder if that guy's still there. If that guy still has a chance to be a part of a magical third line based on his skill set, his tenacity, his speed, his intelligence. There's a base there. A base there for him, again, to get some chemistry, be on a really good line. And if that's the case and he's putting up like similar numbers to what he was doing in that 2-month stretch, it doesn't even have to be throughout the season. If he can like repeat that in the playoffs, then yeah, slap me in the face. This steal is a steal. And he quote unquote did take less. Okay, let's get to the comments. Before I get out of here, maybe I should like literally get the legit trade, like the official trade package. Okay, I got it right in front of me. Okay, Vancouver is sending Ilya Mikheyev and a 2nd-round pick and UFA Sam Lafferty, right, his rights to Chicago in exchange for a 4th-round pick. So the Canucks will get a 4th-round pick. I'm pretty sure that's down the road. And that's not small business, man. That's Allvin having some swag, okay? Having some pizzazz. I wouldn't say ego, but that matters. That matters, okay? Maybe it's Mikheyev and a 2nd for future considerations. And there's Allvin, right? Like, oh, by the way, Sam Lafferty, he used to play for you guys. You guys need some more pros. Do you want a weekend head start in negotiations with them? Is that cool? Oh, it's cool. Give me a 4th in a couple of years. Why not? Asset management, right? A thing that fans desperately want or have wanted for years and years and years and years, right? It's like the Stanley Cup and asset management, okay? Getting ahead of things. And that's important, okay? That's important. Let's get to the comments. Like I said, again, I didn't favorite a thing. We're all over the place. Oh, we need an admin here. I think some people were mad that I was late today, okay? This comment comes from Hangia. They are always late, okay? Look at this comment from Bob Blueger. Congratulations to your family, right? Congratulations to your family. Bob Blueger saying Kyle is burning one so he don't doze. What? How'd you do that? How'd you just make a t-shirt? Kevin commenting, it's not confirmed. Mikheyev needs to waive his no trade. He did waive it. He waived it like 20 minutes ago. Apparently there was 2 teams that the Canucks had deals with, and it leaked, and everyone obviously talking about it, and Mikheyev was forced to kind of pick one or the other, or, not waive at all, and he chose Chicago. Okay, that's something else, man. Rutherford, Allvin, man, they ruthless. They ruthless. And they're accountable too. They really effed up on this contract. How does this guy get that much money and also get a no trade clause, like making it hard to make a pretty important move? Straight up, this one is huge. Andrew, man, Big Z stays, hopefully. Am I wrong? Is either Joshua or Zadorov, one or the other, getting signed in the next 2 days? I think a lot of people are looking at this and possibly connecting with Gensel and other free agents. I just don't think Allvin and Rutherford, without the chance to quote unquote really negotiate with players that are not in their system yet, I don't think they're making a move like this at this time and not replacing that dollar amount with Nikita Zadorov or Dakota Joshua, because you know what those guys have. They're liked in the room, one or the other. You don't want to repeat 2020 and bring nobody back. Those two bring things. They bring things in the playoffs. I know it was 1 year, but again, Rogers Arena, the noise of Vancouver, I feel as if that brings the best out of those guys. And in particular, for both guys, I'll say this as well. I think Rick Tocchet can continue to make Dakota Joshua a better player. I know that's saying a lot. He's already, 27 years old or whatever. And people give up on people after the age of like 22 when it comes to like reaching potential and whatnot. For all you guys, one day you guys are going to get older, okay? End of the day, I'm not going to give up on a 27-year-old having the ability to get better. I feel as if Rick Tocchet has gotten to him and can continue to get to him, right? Dakota Joshua still needs to be more consistent game in and game out, right? His peaks follow a lot of, decent play. He reaches his floor game in and game out, but can he reach his peak more? Is that player available? Maybe. Again, Rick Tocchet, future Hall of Famer, his head coach, and then you look at a guy like Nikita Zadorov, man. Adam Foote is with him. Look at what Zadorov did in the playoffs. That was something else. It was only 2 rounds, but that was something else. Can Nikita Zadorov get better? Can he consistently find that peak throughout the regular season and just be impactful? I think so. I think one of those guys are getting signed in the next 24 to 48 hours. How about this from Raj, man? Raj, man, shedding some limelight. We needed the stream. Huge moves by Chef Allvin. Okay, Allvin, again, being accountable. Just moving off on Mikheyev, man. One of his first babies, man. That's something else. How about Popeye Sailor, man? How about Pedersen for Brady Tkachuk? It's not going to happen, man. I'm saying it right now. This sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. Bro, Elias Pettersson, go to the gym. Watch Peter Forsberg highlights and just be that guy, okay? There's more physicality constantly, consistently in a guy like Pettersson. I don't think we need Brady Tkachuk, okay? Pettersson's ceiling is way too high. And again, I think he has that edge to him, okay? Go look at the Game 7 highlights. And yeah. That's a guy you want to keep, especially with that skill set. Anyways, let's continue. Canucks Nate saying we need to keep Zadorov. I guess that's happening, man. Colin saying, Joshua, I agree. That would be awesome. Again, Joshua or Zadorov. You could not go into next season understanding that you lost one of those guys because you had Mikheyev on the books. And again, applause to Allvin and Rutherford, right? There's an option of a buyout there that didn't really need to happen for real. That would have sucked. That would have sucked. And they don't do that. They trade a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old. It's good business for, again, a team that matters right now. Any more comments? You know what? I see KGB here. I got to go, man. The music session's about to start. I got to go. Go Canucks, go. Go Patrick Allvin. We'll talk more about this tomorrow and get into the details of, the cap hits and whatnot and how much salary cap the Canucks have left, all that jazz. That will happen when Trevor Beggs returns, okay? That guy's the numbers guy. And I'm just the Findu. Kyle Bowen, KYLEBHAWAN. Again, one left of the Locked On Podcast Network. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the show. We got you always, man. We're allowed to do this. Okay, again, the Don't Doze Art Lab supplying that West Coast bias daily. We got to do this. We got to look out for our neighbors. And whenever something happens, we'll be here ASAP. Again, hit the like button and subscribe. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night. If you're not watching this live, I do not know when you're watching or listening to this, but hey, we truly do appreciate it. Peace.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily